Good morning, everyone. Today we have with us Professor Dr. Netra Ganesh Neelam. She is working at Symbiosis Center for Management and Human Resource Development. Dr. Netra Neelam has 2 decades of experience in the field of higher education. She has a PhD in the area of human resource management. She also has a degree in Master of Philosophy and postgraduate diploma in HR management, along with the bachelor's and master's in commerce. She is also recognized guide for PhD, and currently 8 students are pursuing PhD under her. Dr. Netra has attended various international seminars which focused on delivering a quality education in the field of management. She particularly likes to engage in seminars and discussions on assurance of learning. She was invited as a speaker at webinar by UK office of Belbin on enhancing academic interactions to share insights on the extensive work done by her with the Belbin instrument for the benefit of student progression. She served as a member of Board of Management and Board of Examination at Symbiosis International University. She is currently also a member of the Academic Council at the Pune University. Along with being a member of the Board of Studies under the Faculty of Management at the university, she currently acts as a chairperson of the HR subcommittee. She has published various research papers in national and international journals indexed in Scopus and ABDC. Dr. Netra Neelam has been actively involved in management development program for corporates and has conducted functional and behavioral training programs for the executives from various organizations. Now, I would like to request Professor Dr. Vijayalakshmi Srinivas Madam to felicitate Dr. Netra Ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like
Hello everyone, good morning. It's a real pleasure to get invited at the Modern Institute of Business Management, and of course your director is a good friend, and the director's father was my PhD guide. Okay, and so definitely these are relationships which we really cherish very dearly, and it is, I think, because of that we are getting an opportunity to interact today. Yeah. Now the topic, I'm sure, and nice to see so many students in front, and see we faculty, the moment we have students in front, our lectures begin. Okay, whether it is in the house or it is in office. Yeah, and it will be really nice to be able to understand even your perspectives. And so I don't want to talk about any PPT. I want to talk to you all about multidisciplinary education. Okay. Now just to give you some background about, so she read out my CV. And there were certain things which were, not explicitly mentioned in that CV, okay? And I want to talk about that a bit to make you understand what is it about multidisciplinary education that we are talking about. Okay? So of course, when I did my perspectives which I understood there. Yeah, but I was very keen . whether to pursue marketing as a specialization or to pursue costing as a specialization. Okay, I chose costing. But very early I started to realize, I am becoming very number centric. And of course, if costing is your passion, automatically accounts and everything becomes very dear to you. Okay, so in my life, everything was a balance sheet. Okay, डेबिट है तो क्रेडिट होना ही चाहिए, रिसीवेबल है तो गिवर होना ही चाहिए. Yes or no? And tell me, is life always a balance sheet which can tally? And what do we do as students? We tally the balance sheet. Everybody is very happy. My balance sheet tallied, so maybe I am getting 20 out of 20. But seriously speaking, nobody knows what is the tally figure. But everybody is happy after your balance sheet has tallied. And there are a lot of gestures which we have in our own class saying, tally ho gaya. Okay? And then somebody else's heart starts to palpitate saying, yaar, iska itna jaldi kaise tally ho gaya? Okay? But only after we get out, we understand, oh my God, probably, even if I have missed one adjustment, balance sheet can tally. Yes or no? Okay, now when I started to realize that, okay, so I am a living example, I feel, of multidisciplinary education. Yeah, when you talk about this kind of a mindset, and for me, people were also black and white. People were also debit and credit. People were also good and bad. I used to actually talk about segregating people like that. Yeah, from people are not useless to people are useless, I started to have more and more people around me. Because somebody is good for something, somebody else is good for something else. Yes or no? Do all fruits and vegetables give you the same amount of vitamins? No. And if I ask a papaya to start to taste like a watermelon, am I doing justice to the papaya or the watermelon? No. Am I doing justice to the season? Not at all. Are you getting it? So consciously I moved into understanding human behavior. Okay. But human behavior also, when I started to understand, I did it with the help of psychometry. Means what? Measuring the mind. So numbers was always my passion. But now with those numbers, was I concentrating on tallying a balance sheet? No. Was I concentrating on PV ratio? No. Was I concentrating on contribution? No. Was I concentrating on cost sheet? Direct material, direct expense, and you talk about direct labor, ho gaya prime cost. Isn't it? That is the way we do a cost sheet, no? But when you talk about a salesman ने इतना profit किया, or he went and sold 1,000 units. Balance sheet has a place for him. But the effort that the salesman took, does balance sheet have a place for that? No. Okay, and so moving into human behavior gave me a different perspective. Okay, and while I was doing that, and today, being in the role of a director, you have to do everything. You have to do marketing, you have to do costing, you have to look at balance sheet of your own institution, and sitting over there, you only do human relations, you don't do anything else. The higher you go, the only thing you have to do in life is manage people, irrespective of which specialization you are in. Okay? And today when I reflect back and I understand, I feel good. I was able to do a dual degree. Good. I also took a conscious decision to move into costing, to understand it more. I also took a conscious decision then to move out and understand human behavior. And when I did that human behavior also, first I understood how personalities work. Then after understanding that, I thought, let me now understand how careers of these personalities can be shaped. So I did one certification in that as well. Then I talked about, okay, if you're talking about personalities, what about interpersonal relationships which a person has? So I did one certification in that. And after doing all that, I thought, let's also talk about, so once I know about myself or yourself, I talk about your interaction in a group, I should also understand how do you interact in a team. And so I ventured into the next psychometry, which talks about team role behavior. Are you understanding? Okay, and this is the value of multidisciplinary education. Okay, now what I will do is, I have just written down one CV. of someone. Okay? You just have to guess whose CV it is. Oh, should I read? Yeah, all with me? Yes. Sure? Yes. Okay. You have to guess, okay, whose CV I am reading, huh? Self-motivated, maintains a clean and safe environment, works well without supervision, is very reliable in terms of transportation, 100% attendance and attention. There is a difference we know, no? Just now what is it? Attendance and attention both. Correct? Okay? So 100% attendance and attention. Able to multitask multiple projects. Okay? Calm under pressure. 24 hours of caregiving. Time management. Problem solver. Quick learner. Works well with all age groups. Is responsible for opening as well as closing duties. Ideal span of control is 3 to 15. Also does cash management. Also responsible for inventory and stock. Is an exceptional when it comes to vendor relationships and negotiation skills. The strengths, very professional, also very personal, very trustworthy, very dependable, very flexible, good team player, focused, proficient with current gadgets, personal interest, gardening, reading and enriching lives. Whose CV have I read? Absolutely. Correct? Who is she in our house? Multidisciplinary. And we are talking about conducting a seminar and conference on multidisciplinary ecosystem. Yes? That multidisciplinary institution is in our house. Isn't it? Everything so nicely. And what is the underlying bold statement? Does not expect CTC. Yes or no? Yeah? Mother never retires. Imagine. Okay? Now this is multidisciplinary education. Now when you talk in terms of this kind of a perspective, a person who has all this holistic background, and tell me, is there any training? So what is it? Self-improvement. Isn't it? Okay? This is what an individual should aspire for. This is multidisciplinary ecosystem. Okay? And when we talk about, so the topic that I was supposed to, speak to you and, give some insights was on what is the ecosystem of education and research when it comes to the multidisciplinary approach. Okay? Can you tell me what you understand by ecosystem? What is ecosystem? Huh? Ecosystem means what? Interdependency. Anything else? A cycle. Okay. Anything else? Yes? Very good. Everything working in harmony. Anything else? You should have a good ecosystem. Means what? You should have good surroundings. What else? A smooth functioning between all those aspects. Okay. Anything else? Anything else? Anything else? There are so many aspects, not to ecosystem. Cost effective. Okay. Now when you're talking about ecosystem, okay, there is something called as, okay, by the way, there is a difference between systemic approach and systematic approach. Do we agree? Systematic means what? One after the other. Systemic means what? Everything together. Okay? So systemic approach is basically when a vehicle moves from one place to the other, there are so many parts of that engine which are moving, which is helping the vehicle to displace from one particular position to the other position. Correct? But are the machines within the engine moving from their place? No. They are just changing their speed. Yeah, they are just changing their gears so that the machine displaces or the vehicle displaces from one place to the other, correct? So there is a difference between system and systematic. Yeah, so we are talking about a ecosystem. Now tell me, we have to talk about two aspects, okay? One is education. Can you tell me, in an education industry, who all are the stakeholders? The first stakeholder is who? Students. Next? Teachers, very good. Next? Management. Okay. Next? Non-teaching staff. Next? Government. Next? Parents are not stakeholders. We forgot them very conveniently. Okay. So parents are one more stakeholder. Next? अरे? Industry. आप जाके नौकरी करोगे ना? Isn't it? So that industry is also another stakeholder, okay? And very, very important, you should be able to understand that all these stakeholders play a very important role in enabling multidisciplinary education. Okay? Why am I saying that? Because when you practice multidisciplinarity in your approach, what happens is our interests start to evolve. Okay? Very simple. When we were kids, one day we wanted to become a police inspector. Correct? Next day immediately, doctor. Third day क्या खेल रहे हो? Teacher. Isn't it? Fourth day maybe I am an engineer. Now what has happened? Yeah, fifth day immediately you say, now I am the lawyer today. What has happened? Every time your discipline has changed. And what is very important is we are human beings, no? Our interests always evolve. Correct? And believe me, when you talk about your career, okay, career is never ever a prescription. Career is always a description. Are you getting it? Okay? Career is not a recommendation by a doctor. If a doctor says, look, 5 days Zifi khana hai, this is an antibiotic. 6th day ke baad, can you manage it for 1 more year? Self-medication? No. He has said 5 days means only 5 days. That is a prescription. Recommended. But when you talk about your own career, it is always a description. People make this big mistake of funnel in. You should always look at career as funnel out. There are so many things which I can do, but I choose to do one to earn money. I choose somebody else or something else by way of a hobby. Correct? And a lot of times, you know, what I do when I don't do anything plays a very important role while I'm doing something. Do we agree? Do we agree to this or not? Okay? And that gives me a high when I'm talking about my career. Okay? So in spite of being so busy doing so many things, sometimes 10 o'clock at night I feel I have to bake a cake. Yeah? People in my house are like, are you gone nuts now? Cake you will bake now? I said, yeah, I just want to relax. And I will go and bake a cake. And that makes me feel so good. I have a very nice good night's sleep. Now why? Because that's my hobby. Are you getting it? And a lot of times what do? We curb this hobby. Yeah, we feel, yeah, hobby means it is waste of time. Never ever feel that. Take out some time from your busy schedule and pursue a hobby which will help you do better in your career. Okay? Now I will give you one small homework. Okay? And that homework is to look at profiles of Nobel laureates and see the kind of interests they have. Best of Nobel laureates will always have an interest which is absolutely diverse. And they always talk of what? The moment you take off any diverse approach, it brings in creativity into your own current approach. Okay? So somebody who is really, really good in the organization may have music as a passion, may have instruments, you know, playing an instrument as a passion, may have singing as a passion, may have mountaineering as a passion. Okay, one of my very, very good friends, okay, see, multidisciplinary when we talk of, she is a chartered accountant by profession. And you know, research that she is doing right now, she is sending a documentary to National Geography on spiders. And that day she was telling me, Nitra, you know, and for that she has done spider breeding in her own garden. And she says, it's very important, I have to be there, you know. Just imagine, chartered accountant by profession. And where has she gone yesterday? She has gone for a Chadar trek, which is in Leh. Okay, she is in the 6th to 16th, I am off. I am going over there. This is multidisciplinary, no? Okay, and to get into this, she has done her planning, organizing, directing, controlling, managing, sab kuch kiya. I am not saying pursue a career leaving your job behind. I am not saying multidisciplinary means, you know, jack of all trades, master of none. No, multidisciplinary means jack of all trades, master of one. Can't it be that way also? Okay, this is multidisciplinary ecosystem. So when you talk about education per se, national education policy, of course, all of you all, I don't know, you all are in first year or second year? Second year. So very soon you will get out of here. Isn't it? And believe me, no teacher wants you to be in class after this year. Okay? Every teacher always says, yaar, agla semester mujhe nahi dikhna chahiye. Why? Because we want you to, you know, do good to yourself and move out so that somebody else takes your position. Isn't it? Now, when you talk about the impact of this education policy on you, as of now, I do not see direct impact on you. But how is it going to impact you? Tomorrow when you go to the industry and then when you start to recruit people and then when you have your juniors in the industry, they would be people who have come from the setup of new education policy. And you will have to accept that. Okay? For you it's over. Until unless you get into any kind of formal education, possibly later. Okay? But that acceptance that somebody else is going to now come and start to work with you, who is going to come from the multidisciplinary background. Okay? And you know the best part about doing a degree in commerce or management is, as of now we don't have a very strong governing mandate. What does this mean? For law there is Bar Council of India. Yes? For medicine there is Medical Council. Yes or no? Now, of course, management education is also governed by All India Council for Technical Education. But when it comes to commerce or when it comes to management, it already gives you enough and more flexibility to be able to explore. So there is no rigidity. If you want to, suppose you want to do a PhD in law, then what does the Bar Council say? Your master's has to be in law. Only then you can do a PhD in law. But when it comes to management, suppose in MBA, okay, you are doing specialization in marketing, or you are doing in costing, or you are doing in operations, or HR, or whatever. Tomorrow if you want to do a PhD, if you've done your master's in marketing, and if you say, no, I want to do PhD in HR, you will be given permission to do it. Because it is not watertight compartment. Only thing is you should be confident enough to be able to pursue it in HR. And from where will you get that confidence? By working in HR. Okay, so I'll give you one example. Okay, this happened to one of my students because I do these career tests. Okay, after the first year, after the first semester, first and second semester was done, and you know, in the first semester itself, generally we have our summer placements. Okay, and this fellow comes to me in the second semester and he says, ma'am, I have a very dire situation and I need to discuss with you. I am very, very confused. In what? I am so engineer by profession, okay? And he said, I am very confused whether I should specialize in finance or HR. So for me it was specialization in finance or HR, what kind of dilemma is it? Yeah? And he said, no ma'am, I need a solution. Okay? And so we did one small psychometric testing, and what surprised me and him was, in that psychometric testing, what came up as a career opportunity was marketing. Okay? And then I called him, I said, yeah, tum aa jao, hum discussion karenge. He came, and then I said, bhai, na tum HR mein ja sakte ho, na can you go in finance, yeah? This is what your file says. And nobody had forced him to take that test, no? It was on his own that he wanted to test himself, so marketing. And when he looked at it, he said, ma'am, actually, truly speaking, no, I never thought I was cut out for marketing, and मैंने सोचा ही नहीं था इसके बारे में. And then I told him, look, we have a program structure. Did you ever see marketing courses in that? He said, no, I never saw that elective box at all. So I said, go and check that box. Okay? He checked that particular box, and he thought that marketing was something which was made for him, and he was made for marketing. Okay? So we changed, we switched. Imagine हमने company बदल दी. And he went into doing internship in marketing. Okay? Now see what you say and what you do. Correct? And what happened was, after about 20-25 days of his internship, I gave him a call again. And I asked him, कैसा लग रहा है? How is it all fine? बढ़िया मैम. मुझे पता नहीं मैं कहाँ होता अगर यहाँ ना होता. Okay? And he was so happy in that particular field. And now he is doing brilliantly in marketing. Are you getting it? Okay, so what is this? Sometimes now we go like horses with blinkers. Consciously or maybe by pressure, we don't like to see anything that is beyond. Because we are so comfortable with a straight face that we forget that our neck is flexible. Isn't it? Okay? That is multidisciplinary education. Okay? And as I said, in management, it is absolutely doable because management actually talks of not clear-cut boundaries, but it definitely will talk about giving you good perspectives if you wish to explore. Okay? So I know of someone who did his research in employee wellness after doing MBA in marketing. Was it allowed? Yes. Okay. And the only thing possible, which the experts, so generally now they introduced me and said, okay, 8 of these students I supervise. Okay. Now, when we are supervising them, it is the duty of the faculty to also understand whether the student is capable of this or not. So even with my student, I did not prescribe, right? You go for marketing. What did I do? I said, we will do one test. Okay, let me look at the report. Then I can recommend something. Similarly, when we also vet PhD topics or research topics, we understand the caliber of the person to be able to pursue it. Okay, and when we were doing that, obviously what came out was, if the person has done 5 years of experience in the field of HR, understands it, why not give the person opportunity to do a employee wellness study for the field of HR? Somebody who has done psychology, one of my students has done psychology, and she is doing a study with IT industry, which is into well-being and emotional intelligence. So happiness and emotional intelligence. She wants to find out whether emotionally intelligent people are happy or happy people are emotionally intelligent. Are you getting it? Okay, so there is tremendous opportunity. One of my students has done his masters, of course, in commerce, but now he is finding out what are the challenges of education, what are the challenges in the higher education industry when it comes to faculty recruitment or student enrollment or development of any of the stakeholders. Somebody else has done graduation, post-graduation in commerce and now wants to study what is the role of autonomous institutions on student progression. What is all this? we are predominantly made multidisciplinary. We force ourselves to get into one zone. What is the difference between a good doctor and a great doctor? Expertise. What is the difference between a good doctor and a great doctor? A good doctor treats the disease, great doctor treats the patient's mentality as well. Okay? When a doctor, just imagine a doctor who is treating cancer and immediately tells you, look, you have only 2 months. अभी कुछ नहीं हो सकता है. Okay? Versus a doctor who says, don't worry, life is beautiful. Okay? And probably does some kind of counseling and you are able to recoup. You will go to that person, right? So along with just becoming a doctor, probably he has also mastered the art of communication with the patient. Just imagine a nurse. You know, sometimes nurses are giving trainings in patient management. They are very good in disease management. Okay? But just imagine your leg has fractured for the first time, no? But she sees that fracture every day. And the way she treats your leg, and you feel, oh my God, what are you doing? रुको हम ये रोज करते हैं. अरे but मेरा तो आज ही टूटा है ना. Are you getting it? Okay, so obviously we are more comfortable with somebody, yeah, who is also able to give us something that we did not come to seek. Otherwise, all doctors with the same degree would be popular. But why do you prefer one against the other? Are you getting it? That is the difference. That is the importance of a multidisciplinary approach. Okay? So whenever you are looking at any one particular idea, you should talk about how I will look at it from different dimensions. Okay? So we did one study. Yeah? We did one study on house buying behavior. Okay? So if I ask all of you all over here, how many of you all don't want a house for yourself? You don't want to own a house. Okay? So I assume everybody wants to own a house. Correct? Now, is house owning a very unilateral decision? No. House owning means what? You have to work for psychology of that individual. Okay? So what will be the humanitarian tendency? What is going to be the economy? What is going to be financial stability of that particular individual? So economics, finance, HR, all three. So three faculty from each of these disciplines, we actually came together and we wrote one paper on house buying behavior, a tri-dimensional approach. A lot of times, and then when we interviewed people, we actually found out that people buy a house not sometimes for need, but because of psychological pressure. Yeah? Because when you go and get married, the first thing that girls' parents ask is, तुम्हारे पास अपना घर है? Okay. And so, अपना घर होने के लिए, I need it. Yes or no? Now this is what it is. This is multidisciplinary approach. Yeah. Today we don't compete for one Videocon TV with Samsung. We talk about TV becoming a competitor of a refrigerator or my child's tuition fee. This is multidisciplinary approach. Horses with blinkers means you will get only one perspective. But the moment you have different perspectives into a decision, only then you will be able to do something good about it. And if you ask about education, there is lots of opportunity. So as I told you, I did all my schooling and all my post-graduation in commerce and management, and suddenly somewhere I thought, I should do something in the area of women empowerment. And I just worked on a consultant for one ICSSR project which was in the area of women empowerment. And later on I thought, women empowerment through what? And then we gave it a dimension, women empowerment through craft revival, and we submitted one proposal to ICSSR and we got the funding. Yes,
Women empowerment. What is my area of study? No. But this is my area of interest. Okay? And so, what is my approach? Are you understanding? So, predominantly, our world is about multidisciplinary engagements. Yes? And you should be able to build that particular perspective into all your understanding and all your decisions. When you talk about the ecosystem of research, there is lots you can do. If you look at, I don't know how many of y'all are really into writing research papers, but if you look at government websites also nowadays, they are encouraging multidisciplinary work. Multidisciplinary builds collaboration. Okay, you have somebody from one particular area, you have some other person from some other area. Together you collaborate and you
able to get that funding. Okay, so with this, I hope I have been able to give you some thoughts on multidisciplinary, research as well as education.
multidisciplinary as an approach. We are born multidisciplinary. Any questions? Okay. Also, one word of caution, okay? For this again, I want to read out something. So even if I am able to generate that spark of multidisciplinary, I think I have done my job. Okay? But don't overdo it. Yeah, कि मैम ने बोला multidisciplinary. तो मुझे आज चाइनीज भी खाना है, मुझे वड़ा भी खाना है, मुझे चावल भी खाना है, मुझे पानी भी खाना है. Then it becomes indigestion. Okay? So a creative person should know where to stop. Are you getting it? The multidisciplinary approach brings in a lot of creativity, but a creative person should know where to stop. Okay? So why I'm saying don't overdo multidisciplinary approach. I just want to read out something to you, something which I thought will be very interesting for this particular age group. No. I'm just reading out something. Okay?
The poem. Huh? This poem is on multidisciplinary perspectives of love.
Convened and convened an academic symposium. Okay, gathered together and the good from a variety of disciplines to consider the question. What was the question? What is love? The philosopher said we must first start with Plato. The historians showed how it had changed over time. The chemist spoke of oxytocin and dopamine. The psychologist thought it was all in the mind. The political scientist declared it undemocratic. The sociologist deemed it a social construct. The economist said that nothing else matters except for how little there was or how much. The linguists explained the word came from Old English. The theologians claimed it came straight from God. Okay? The media studies professors weren't present, but they said that they sent their thoughts through a blog. The anthropologist spoke of love across cultures. The mathematicians tried to work out its square root. The neuroscientist pointed at MRI scans. The musicologist played its song on a flute. The art historian said it was all about perspective. I hope you remember the question. What is love? The geologist believed it from Walter rock wool. The classicist read extracts from Sappho and Ovid. The astrophysicist thought it's something to do with the moon. The geographer tried to map all its contours. The literature scholars showed ordinary feats. At the end, very interesting, okay? At the end, we were no nearer an answer. Reconvene on the Wednesday. Okay? This is multidisciplinary approach. Okay? Simple question. What is love? See what we did to it. So, even if we talk about multidisciplinary, it is absolutely important to not overdo it. Okay? To a certain extent, good. Yeah? I hope I was able to give you some insight on multidisciplinary education and research. Keep your eyes and ears open. You will get lots of opportunities, but don't always keep it open. There will be stress and anxiety. Okay? So all the best to each one of you, and I'm sure you are doing a great job going ahead in accepting the next generation who is going to come with a multidisciplinary mindset of education. Okay? Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, you connect to me. Connect to me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's my point. What is the homework I give you? What is the homework? Read about overloads. Okay? And you will actually also, it is not filing our time, no? Doing multiple things. Because there are multiple things is involved. It's not filing our time. It is to do with very early in life, if you close your boundaries, you would have lost so many things. Life is all about exploration. I don't know how many of you are know the concept of Johari window. Isn't it? Johari window. What was the last part say? The last one. Unknown. Isn't it? Unknown. Means you are not going to be not going to experience. Okay? So, while we, are towards the end
They do not work like buses with vehicles. Be open to change, be open to explore. Only when you go for travel like my friend, I'm sure she's going to have loads of stories to talk about after she comes back. Only then one can understand why there's so much thrill. Okay, otherwise doing a chartered accountant job is going to become so monotonous. Okay, by the way, she is very good when it comes to painting as well. This is what it is. Okay, so my request to each one of you is do something which you thought you wanted to pursue, let it then pursue. But be very, very conscious about what you will take up as a career and what you will pursue. So don't switch. Even if I like to bake a cake at 10 o'clock at night, tomorrow I can't say yes, of course, I will start my own baking. I cannot. I will fail miserably. Because the people whom I am going to compete with, for them it is their full-fledged career, and for the last 20 years I have spent in higher education, they have spent in practicing. I'm understanding? That's the difference. Any new job always will ask you to build new competency. And it is all about improving your competency at the end of the day. So I always keep saying, don't always have a desire for something. You please talk about building your competency to deserve that. Understood? Yes? All fine? Thank you.
2 minutes. On behalf of Modern Institute of Business Management, I, Professor Dr. Harsha, would like to express thanks to Professor Dr. Netra Neelam ma'am for her valuable guidance on multidisciplinary education and ecosystem. Ma'am, you have helped us to understand different aspects of career with passion. Thank you so much, ma'am. Yeah, sure.
Good afternoon to all. We welcome Dr. Shirode sir, Vice Chancellor, Balaji University. We welcome to you, sir. We are reached to the conclusion of the 9th National Conference in the presence of Chief Guest, Professor Dr. G.K. Shirode sir. We welcome you too, sir. I request Dr. Vijayalakshmi Srinivas Madam, Director, MIBM, to felicitate Dr. G.K. Shirode sir. Modern Institute of Business Management every year publish a journal. It's called as Paridnya. It's an annual journal and it's available in both the form online and print. So I take this opportunity and I request sir to publish a Paridnya journal issue. Please sir.
I declared that his research journal on social innovations is released today with this great pleasure in presence of all young Indians.
Now I take this opportunity to introduce our chief guest, Dr. G.K. Shirode sir. Sir, presently the Vice Chancellor at Sri Balaji University, Pune. Sir has more than 37 years experience in academics. He has published 52 research articles and papers in reputed journals. He has guided 16 doctoral research students, 12 MPhil students. He also authored 7 books in economics, macroeconomics, managerial economics, industrial economics, and economics performance and management system. Sir is the member of advisory board of more than 10 research journals and conferences. With Sir's constant urge for knowledge and staying upgraded, he has participated in 81 seminar, workshops and conferences in India and abroad. Sir participated in World Future Energy Summit organized by UAE government in January 2010 at Business Exhibition Center, Abu Dhabi. Sir visited various nations and universities for educational purpose, mainly Malaysia, China, Turkey, France, Germany, Bhutan, Nepal, Boston, USA. Sir has been a part of international academic fraternity in Dubai as a research person in managerial economics for EMBA program launched by the Savitribai Phule Pune University. Sir chaired many good positions, head of the department, business economics, banking at SP College. Sir was director SP Mumbai's Naraykan Institute of Career Development and Research. Sir was the member council and administrative board at SP Mumbai Pune. Sir is the member of Board of Studies in Organizational Management, Legal and Economic Environment and at Savitribai Phule Pune University. Sir is the member of Board of Studies in Trade, Transport Industry at University of Mumbai, Regional Vice President and Western Region AIMS. Sir is the Campus Director of Sri Balaji Society Education Campus, Tafode. He is the life member of Indian Council of Management Executives, Mumbai, ICME, Marathi Arthashara Parishad, MAP, Indian Economic Association, IEA, Association of Indian Management Schools, AIMS, National Institute of Personnel Management, MIBM, Indian and Development, ISTD. Sir received many awards. Sir received Best Junior Staff Award at SP College Pune in 1982-83. Special certificate for outstanding work in National Service Scheme (NSS) by Savitribai Phule Pune University in 1989. Ideal Teacher Award by Lions Club International in year 98-99. Order of Merit Management Education awarded by Indian Council of Management Executives Mumbai in the year 1999. Nations Vikar Jyoti Award by International Integration and Growth Society, Delhi.
Teacher.
Yeah. So with this, the biodata is more lengthy. So I request sir to address the gathering. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Voice of young Indians and voice of the faculty as well as the research scholars. Well, friends, basically I am a teacher. Forget about my positions and all. As age goes on rising, positions will automatically come. But I myself always feel that I am the student of economics. And I learn so many things every day from young Indians and from the young faculties also. Well, having said this, I want this session to be more interactive, more live, and you should feel very free while asking me the question and answering my question also. I will not put any difficulty to you. I will be as simple as possible. Well, how many students are sitting here from MBA, either junior or seniors? Raise your hand. Okay. How many faculties are here? Okay. Good. Friends, what is the basic purpose of education? Whatever may be your course which you have selected, what is the purpose of education?
Bringing development to the society.
Bringing development
To the society. Long term.
long. Okay, go on sing. Go on sing, then I am going to conclude. Because you should understand what is the purpose for sitting here in this class. Because we want to learn something. And if I do not give any inputs, then it's a waste of time of you and me also. So what is the purpose of education, my dear friends? Do you have a color?
Yes, yes.
So I will be more free rather than just read it here. Yes, what is the purpose of education? From student side?
To learn something new.
To learn something new. Okay. So, okay, madam, no issue. No issue. So, you want to learn. Even I am learning today from you. Really. I always get something clicked in my mind when I meet the people. Do you know Raghunath Mashelkar?
Yes.
Okay. Very renowned scientist, what he has mentioned about education, very simple thing which he has mentioned. I am not going to give you any very heavy definitions. He has established a single simple equation. E is equal to F. E is equal to F. What is that? Education is equal to your future. Get it? If you want your future to be bright, if you want your future to be the best of the best, then the another side of the coin is you should have that type of the education which will beautify your life, which will make you more handsome. I am not talking about your physical appearance. I am talking about how you are going to be more handsome in a real life. So that is what education means. Education is a jewel casting brilliance in future. I hope you understand what I said. Jewel casting brilliance. Jewel casting means what? Minute observations will in depth, opening your creative eyes and then having a look where I am ignorant, where I am lacking, where there is a gap. Research scholars, they say research gap, where there is a gap. And therefore in the life, even after MBA, even in MBA, whatever may be your learning process, you have to open your creative eyes and find out where there is a gap as far as your personality is concerned. Get it? And if you do it continuously, then you will be as handsome as all the handsome people which you are having in your mind. You understand what I said? And whenever I am using the word handsome, what I mean by handsome? 5H. Handsome is related with 5H. What God has given you, your parents has given you without any cost. Dr. taking single money from you and having no expectations from you. Yes? Love. Okay. Which is not measurable, which is not countable. It never ends. It increases. Yes. Any other? Any other? What your parents has given to you, or free without cost. Has they given you anything? Then you don't know. Feel free, my dear friends. This is the gap in education. You always trust on the people who are coming and delivering the sessions. Rather, you have to ask the questions and get it clear. Okay. So, parents has given you. Okay. Do you have any dreams? I am talking about dreams which will give you a very high potential in your life. Not that you love somebody, that is your dream, and this is going to be a desire which you are going to fulfill. No. That comes automatically. If you do the best, that comes automatically. Money will also come if you are not behind money. It will come automatically. But for that, you require to invest your time, your energy, your intelligence, and the constructive desire which is going to be permanent in your personality. So I am talking about 5H. I am having a head. Do you have? Really? Okay. I am having hand. I am having a beautiful heart. Do you have? So, 3 gifts. Head, hand, heart. Then what is required in that? You require 2 more things, 2 more H. 1, hard work. Hard work. Next, honesty. Hard work and honesty. So this 5H, if you put it in a proper manner, then certainly your strength will go on rising. Your strength, your ability, your capacity, your capability will go on rising. Whenever we say that God has given a hand, God has also given fingers also. Every finger has its own function. But if 5 fingers combine together, it brings out unity and strength. So what you require in your personality? You require strength. So strength is defined in what sense? It may be your domain areas. your specializations. But at the same time, if you want to become the handsome, your focus has to be clear. You should be well focused. You should not deviate from time to time. Difficulties are bound to be there in everybody's life. We have to celebrate difficulties. We have to celebrate the difficulties. We have to welcome the difficulties. Greater the difficulties, more are the opportunities. So wait for these opportunities and find out some window is there for you. And that window will give you some new sunshine in your life where you will have your own way to walk. So this is related with, if you want to become a handsome, respect these 5 H for each and every second. Each and every second. That God has given you these things, your parents has given you this thing, and then you have to add only 2. It is in your hand, not in parents' hand. Hard work which you have to do. And then, most important that is related with, you should be honest. By cheating, short-term benefit will be there. But in long term, you will lose so many things. Get it? So remember this 5H. This whole conference is related with what? Role of behavioral sciences in management education, particularly in respect of multidisciplinary aspects. So defined, very long, This topic is very vague. I'll come to this particular topic and I will add something in that and see that how students will be more benefited today. Behavioral science. And my question to faculty, anybody can answer. What comes under the behavioral science? Students, they know consumer behavior. We, the teachers, know how students should behave in the class and how students should behave elsewhere whenever they are representing, they are the student of modern. Okay? Parents are expecting behavior of my son or daughter should be as transparent as the moonlight. So what comes under behavioral science? Can anybody answer? Yes?
Can be behavior of employees, it can be behavior of investors,
Okay.
Organizational behavior.
behavior of organization towards looking at employees. Study of human behavior.
Okay. But whenever we use the word behavioral science, then it is a combination of what? All social science. All social science. It includes all social sciences. But at the same time, it also includes biology, pure sciences, not pure sciences. Sciences where behavior is related, animal behavior is related. So, in behavioral sciences, along with social sciences, we are also referring the anthropology as well as biology, where you will find out it is the study of human and animal behavior in behavioral sciences. Okay? Do you understand that? Now, whenever we talk about the behavioral sciences, it is concerned with what? All sciences, particularly social sciences. It is concerned with whom? Society. And society is a group of the people. And whenever we say that group of the people is there, group of heterogeneous people, heterogeneous attitudes, heterogeneous habits, heterogeneous different type of the nature of the individuals. And therefore, whenever we talk about the social sciences, we want rational behavior. We want a rational behavior. A man should behave like a man. Student should behave like a student. So rational behavior is expected. And then what is the role of behavioral sciences in management? Okay? Now, what is management? I don't want definition. What is management? This session is also organized. Required so many things to manage. So what is management? Management in life. Management in your day-to-day activities. What you do? What you do? You plan. You think. You act. You practice. Okay? Do you remember what I am saying? You think, then you design, you prepare a schedule, you had something in your mind, then you act accordingly, you try to act accordingly. 50% may take place, 50% may not take place. Okay? And then what you do? You want to practice. You want to practice it. So, from school, you must have heard this. Practice makes man. Imperfect practice makes man imperfect. What I said? Imperfect practice. In our day-to-day life, we try to reach at the perfection. We try to reach at the perfection. But do you think that if you reach at this particular point, then it is called as I am perfect? No. Perfection never ends. Learning never ends. Perfection never ends. It is going to be continuously add on, add on, add on, for which we use the word value addition. And value addition is nothing. Adding to your foundation. Adding to your foundation. Basic course, basic theories, basic fundamentals. And whenever we discuss these particular things, then try to remember that it is a design thing. The way you design your day-to-day activity, frame it properly and execute it, that gives you a path ahead, a roadmap ahead. Try to understand what I am saying. A day-to-day life experience matters more. And therefore, behavioral sciences and the management, these are the two sides of the same coin. Whenever you want to talk about the management, you are directly concerned with the people. Role of the people may change as a consumer, as a producer, as a decision maker, as a leader, okay? Or maybe a strategic function, whatever it is. But human being is at the core. And whenever the human being is at the core, then the other side of the coin is that you should know what is the social environment, what is the political environment, what is the economic environment, what is the environmental situations as far as the decision making is concerned. What are the government policies are there? So it is how it is linked with each other. We can't separate it out each other. So this is what exactly behavioral sciences and the management is concerned. Now when the NEP comes, new education policy, everybody must have gone through the text of education policy, particularly faculties I am asking. Students are not concerned with reading the draft of the new education policy. They want to get education only. And we are supposed to give them education only. I said perfect practice makes man perfect. New education policy is nothing but give you more exposure outside of the class, and that is concerned with real life situation. And therefore the words which are used, hands-on training, internship, giving you more projects, and thereby making you more useful either to the industries or to the business or startups or the bearing the risk and uncertainty and become the entrepreneur. Okay? So, emphasizing new education policy, output which is expected in 2035, that young Indians should be not job seekers. They should be job providers and having their own business, having their own startups, and enter into the research and innovations. Enter into the innovation. What is innovation? What is innovation? You must have learned theories. Profit is the result of innovation, Joseph Schumpeter. There are so many theories which you must have learned. I don't want to go in details. But what is innovation? You have to innovate, you have to invent. Means what? Yes? Yeah. Can you just say loudly for others? Creating something new. Okay. Yes.
So innovation also means improvising.
Improvising. Good, good. Okay. Any more? Any more?
New ideas for development.
New ideas for development. Okay. Education in innovation and innovation in education. Try to understand what I am saying. Innovation, education in innovation and innovation in education. They are complementary to each other, interdependent on each other, rather building on each other. And therefore, whenever we say that the innovation, it is a something unknown. It's a journey. Innovation is a journey from unknown to known, from known to better known, and from better known to socially useful. What is that? Suppose if we talk about the resources, man-made resources, natural resources. Some resources are plentiful, some resources are very scarce, very less in number of the total requirement. So now the question is, how these resources can be optimally utilized. Optimally means best possible use of the resource. Whatever is best today may not be best tomorrow, because technology intervenes. And when emerging technology is there, then the same resource is having a new dimension towards the utility value. I hope you understand. And whenever I say that the utility value of the resource varies, then this is what it is expected from the young brains, that they have to give a different type of the dimensions to the utilization of the resources. Okay? Now, if these resources are properly utilized, then it is concerned with what? Input, process, output. Input, process, output. Very simple words are there. Input means what? Input means what? Raw material. Okay. Any other? Whatever we are going to discuss is input, sort of input. Okay. Anything more? Labor. Okay. Anything more? More than that. Suppose I use the word qualitative input should be given. Qualitative input should be given. Ideas. Okay. Any more? Whenever the farmer seeds the crop, what care he takes? What care he takes? Yeah, that is the process. That is the process. Seed should be good. He has to select. You have to select. You have to select. What you have to select? What is good in your life? What is suitable to your life? Because every person may not be good in marketing. Every may not be good in finance. Some of them may not be good in the operations. You have to find out your own ability, capacity, capability, your interest and your focus. Nothing is easier. If you want to go ahead, nothing is easier. So my simple point is that first think about the input. Differentiate on the basis of the merit and quality. Then process it properly. Do it properly. Act it properly. Execute it properly. Review it from time to time. And when this process continues to be there, don't worry about the output. Output is the result. Output is the final aim. If input processes properly, output will be the as per your expectations. So my simple thing is that, what is a learning? Learning is that behavioral sciences and its role in management is nothing but input is given by the social sciences, processes have been defined by the management, and what is expected in new education policy is that our output should be a sound one. Because the Narendra Modi ji wants to differentiate India with compared to the all developed economies. And how it is going to be differentiated? With youth, energetic people having a different type of capability. And therefore, in new education policy, try to understand, instead of having 100% specialization, your life is not going to be balanced. Your life is going to be balanced only when you are having an interest in some other areas. So you choose that particular subject for a semester, obtain that particular credits, and then see that how it is going to develop your personality. Therefore, multidisciplinary, multi-skilling. Multiple things at a time may not define your life. Things where you find your interest is there, you are having some sense of completing that particular thing, then and then only it is going to happen. Do you remember, do you really understood what I said here? I said that somebody is doing something and therefore you want to do something. Your parents are saying something to do, therefore you are doing. Your teachers are saying that please you do something, therefore you are doing. Listen carefully what they say. Then think yourself whether I can do that. Yes, you can do that. But how sincerely you want to put your efforts in that. Then and then only it is going to happen. And therefore my simple submission as far as today's this session is concerned, that input, process, output. You can't separate behavioral sciences and management. These are the two sides of the same coin. New education policy, whenever it insisted the ABC, students may not know. Academic bank credit. Okay. How many students know this academic bank credit? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Okay. And suppose if you don't have ABC, if you don't have any credit, then what is going to happen? What is going to happen? Nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. Because you have defined that you want to complete the MBA. You will complete it with these 4, 5, 7 subjects. You will focus it. And in every university, almost in all the universities, the psychology and sociology which is defined is very simple. Students have to read, they have to remember, and they have to reproduce. Read, remember, reproduce. In new education policy, this is not expected. 3R are changed into another 3R. Rigor, result, and ranking. From centuries together, if you read carefully, if you remember, if you mug it without understanding or without knowing, and if you put it at a proper time for a proper answering the question, you will get distinguished marks. Those who stand in the merit, are they really successful in their life and they are happy? Yes, some of them are happy. But a middle section is always having more energy. Try to understand. Everywhere meritorious people are not required. A middle section of the people are required because they are having multiple capacity to render. And therefore multidisciplinary approach is linked with developing your skills. And therefore, whenever I say that what is the meaning of education, education is concerned with knowledge enrichment. What are going to be your domain area? Knowledge enrichment. Skill enhancement. Along with knowledge you require different type of the skills that you can obtain it from multidisciplinary, multi-skilling, relearning, unlearning, likewise. But it's a continuous process. So on one hand, knowledge enhancement. On the other hand, skill enrichment. And the most important is that you should be technologically sound. I don't mean that you should be engineers. And I am not saying that the engineers are technologically sound. What I am saying that you require basic knowledge related with how to operate. And therefore, emerging technologies coming in management field. Everywhere, even in behavioral science. Which are these emerging technologies? Which are these emerging technologies, new technologies in management? What is that? You have heard these words, but you do not understand the implication of it. Machine learning, artificial intelligence, yes, SAP certification, robotics, robot, data simulation, data processing, data or data, whatever you say. Okay? These emerging words are there which are coming, where you have to have value addition. Add into your day-to-day courses. And if you do that, this emerging technology with a good foundation, you will find out a good opportunity there. Okay? Savarkar has mentioned, जे उत्तम उदात्त उन्नत महन मधुर देते. Simple, very simple line. जे उत्तम उदात्त उन्नत. जे उत्तम म्हणजे काय? What it means? I have used the word best of the best. उत्तमात उत्तम तो सर्वोत्तम. Now, whether you will find out that some course is there which makes you sarvottam, best of the best? No, there is not a single course. It is you to find out yourself where you are going to be a best. Okay? Udatta Unmata. Udatta Unmata means here exposure. Exposure, opportunities, exploring yourself. And then it is going to be Mahan Madhuratete. Mahan Madhur means what? Mahan Madhur means what? It means you have reached at the peak. If you want to reach at the peak, then whatever is there, which is a best of the best, you have to inculcate. You have to accumulate. So, this simple line says that acquisition of knowledge and skills, assimilation of knowledge and skills, and application of knowledge and skills. If you have these three things at one and the same time, then success is going to shower on you. Don't keep your eye on success. See that the processes which you are following, that should be rational. It's a continuous journey. Continuous journey. Every day, every time you have to focus yourself. I will use one Sanskrit. See, it is concerned with what? It is concerned with time, it is concerned with scale, it is concerned with size, it is concerned with the target which you have forecasted. And therefore, see, even in the forest, who is the king? Forest, who is the king? Lion. A deer will not simply enter into a sleeping lion's mouth. A deer. Deer means what? My dear. A very young, very energetic deer in the forest will not simply enter into a sleeping lion's mouth. Lion has to find out a direction, then speed, scale, and time. Otherwise, desire is not going to be satisfied. Dream is not going to be satisfied. Same thing happens in human life, in everybody's life. If you want to achieve something, then you have to have a persistent efforts, a sustained efforts, focused efforts. Perseverance means consistent, sustained. There should not be any break. Okay? Difficulties are bound with it. Every time lion may not be succeed. Every time lion may not be succeed. But times come when he succeeds. Same thing will happen in human life also. So you have to map yourself the time. I hope you understand time. You have to understand the speed. How much time you spend for what? Your reading ability. your listening ability, your reacting ability, and how much patience do you have. All these abilities is nothing but output of the behavioral science. And in management, the human behavior, consumer behavior, market behavior, economic behavior, all these behaviors are nothing. It is the cluster. It is the cluster of what? Cluster of socio-psycho element. It is a cluster of socio-political and cultural engagements. And therefore, उद्यमेन ही सिद्ध्यन्ति कार्याणि न मनोरथे नहि सुप्तस्य सिंहस्य प्रवेशन्ति मुखे मुर्गाः. As I said, persistent efforts have to focus. And if you do it, whether you are MBA graduates, engineering graduates, BA graduates, BCom graduates, skill plays a very lion's role in your life. If you are only theoretical and if you never open your eyes as far as what is the practice is concerned, practical is concerned, therefore, majority of the MBA students face the problem related with placement. Management institutes are not the agents to place you. Management institutes make you capable, sound. They are showing you a direction, way, where you have to flow. And therefore, I am just going to raise 3 questions. I am not going to answer that. I am not expecting answers from you, and then I will end. Everybody has to think. Teachers has to think. We the decision makers has to think. What are the expectations of the students? Do you have any expectation? No? What are the expectations of the students? From whom? Not from your colleague. Not from a very handsome girl which you like. Handsome guy which you like. No. What are the expectations of the students from teachers? What are the expectations of the students from parents? What are the expectations of the students from the overall environment in the society? And now the responsible side of the coin. What are the expectations of the parents from us? We the institutions. What are the expectations of the parents from the institutions? And if we combine both, the question is, what are the expectations of the industries from us? So we coordinate 3 things. We as an institution, we as the universities, what we do, the expectations of the students are going to be framed in the syllabus, in a curriculum. What they expect, what we expect, knowledge, skill enhancement, and technology friendly inputs. Expectations of the parents from us is indefinite. Indefinite. Parents will be happy if we give free education. Without charging any education, if we give, they will be more happy. But things which are provided without any cost do not have any value. It is a valueless proposition. And the expectations of the industries, where you people expect that my package should be like this, my placement should be in this and this particular company. But what company expects? What type of the qualities company is expecting from the students? There you have to focus. Don't think too much about what is going in the world, what is going at the national level. Be selfish. Be selfish does not mean having vested interests. No. Be selfish means think yourself first. And if you are wise enough to think yourself, then certainly you will have a better focus. So focus on these particular activities and you will be the more happiest in your life. So many things which I can continue, but time I have to also respect. Because you are also having more value as far as the time is concerned. So I wish you a very happy, comfortable learning. Be focused. be confident, be energetic, and have always a passion in your life to learn more, acquire, assimilate, try to apply knowledge and skills. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for a wonderful session. Sir guided us on many aspects. Sir guided on purpose of education. Actually, sir said E is equal to F. Education is the future, and accordingly, sir emphasized on knowledge enhancement, skill enhancement, knowledge enrichment. Also, sir, stress on 5H. We people are always talk about 3H, and we know that. But other honest and hard work that we are not even stressing on. Sir also stress on behavioral science, then heterogeneity of the people. Sir given us the point related to how the process should be. So do, plan, act and practice. Sir talk about the multi-disciplinary education, also focus on input, process and output. So different inputs in terms of, I am interpreting it in a different way. Inputs is related to, when I talk about the teaching and learning process, so input is related to the students, so the students from different backgrounds, different disciplines and different learning capabilities. So the processing of that inputs the stress. So given inputs related to the machine learning, then emerging technologies, and the student should take a persistent effort related to it. Now I would like to request we are going to distribute certificate of participation for this 9th national conference. Few selected participants, we are going to present the certificate and taking the name. Dr. Fernandez, madam. Yeah. Ruchira Pandit. Dhanvantri Naravade. Varsha Kandage. Thank you, sir. Due to the time constraint, we just giving 4 participants the certificates. Now, the last part of the national conference, 9th national conference. Now we came to the conclusion of this 2 days 9th national conference on national education policy, role of behavioral sciences in science management in implementation of multidisciplinary education. So I would like to express the vote of thanks. I would like to express my sincere thanks to our Honorable Chairman, Dr. Gajanan Eghote sir. Without his constant support and guidance, this conference would not be possible. I would like to thank Dr. Josna Eghote Madam, Joint Secretary, Progressive Education Society. I express my sincere thanks to all the speakers, Dr. Parag Kalkar sir, ex-dean, Faculty of Commerce and Management, Member of Senate, Member of Council, Savitribai Phule Pune University, Dr. Samir Karkhanis, Dr. Sachin Surve, UGC HRD, Dr. Manisha Paliwal, and Dr. Usharmal, Dr. Netra Nilam, SPM HRD, and Chief Guest of Valedictory Session, Dr. G.K. Shirode sir. I thank our Director, Dr. Vijaya Lakshmi Srinivas, for persistent effort to make this conference successful. I would like to thank Dr. Nivedita Eghote Madam, Coordinator, MIBM, Deputy Secretary, Progressive Education Society, for suggesting wonderful theme for this 9th conference, as well as constant guidance and support throughout the process of conducting 9th National Conference. I would like to thank my all faculty colleagues, teaching, non-teaching staff. I would like to thank all the faculty participants, research scholars, and my beloved student participants. Thank you very much. Also, I would like to thank the technical team and video shooting team for their constant effort to map this program throughout 2 days. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Now I thank all the participants for the photos. Faculty participant. Thank you very much.
Then we'll take student.
Runs arrangement was made in the classroom.
चालू आहे का लाईव्ह चालू आहे थांबायला सांग